A Strange Winter Occurrence by Daniel Levi. Hydra Station, March 10th, 2016, 1900 hours. Today we went on lockdown due to the warning of the arrival of our enemy. We lost all communication with all the other stations around the world, so we were on our own. The red lights flashed in the abandoned refinery as a tapping noise echoed through the building. I had lost all hope since day enlisted in resistance, even though it wasn't much of a choice. There isn't a day I don't think of everything I lost in war. It was all because of the flower post on 67th Street and the arrogant woman who purchased a small vase with the ugly green flower. Downtown New York City, New York, December 23rd, 2014, 13:36 hours. The wind seemed to throw a volley of cold air onto the surface of me and my sister's face. Everywhere we went, we were met with different sensation of frostbite. The forecast had predicted the harshest of weather, but that did not stop my sister from going outside to look at the little flower shop on 67th Street she saw every day. I had wanted to stay inside and enjoy an evening cup of hot chocolate, but then I would be seen as a disgrace. The shop was once owned by my father, which had neglected me through the 29 years that I knew him. The only one who ever had his attention was my sister. She was firstborn, so naturally, she had been his favorite. She always got what she wanted, and there was never any questions asked. I, on the other hand, got as much attention as a white crayon. I was never included in the family meetings, or asked how I was feeling. I never enjoyed his presence or hers. I had to. So here I am, 29 years later, helping her yet again, with her constant pleas for attention. "Oh my God, beautiful," she screamed at the top of her lungs. I turned around and looked at the plant, but I didn't understand the beauty part of it. The leaves were wilted and the stem had big, ugly thorns. It was painted with the ugliest shade of purple, an unpleasant smell that even a skunk would have hated. "What's so special about it?" I asked. She turned around, looked at me as if I should know why. "It was exactly like the one I had back when I went to France. You remember that, don't you, Mary?" He said, lying through my teeth. I answered, "Sure." She put the vase and raced it straight to the register and asked for the price. "Well, for that, I'll take $50. The man responded, "Sold." She said as she removed a wad of cash from her purse and handed it to him. She then left the store in a hurry and then smiled at the plant. As I followed her, I caught a glimpse of the plant that it did seem familiar, but before I could say any more, the Arctic wind rushed to my face. Apartment 1221, Lower Manhattan, New York, December 23rd, 2014, 21:17 hours. I opened the door to the apartment. My sister rushed in, eyes still glued to the hideous plant. The door shut with a loud thud, but not even that took her eyes off it, nor did the bright green and red lights seem to separate them. It was almost as if she was possessed. "What's so special about the plant?" I asked her as I put my coat on the racket. She did not respond, so I asked the same question, but still she didn't. Just when I was about to ask her again, she yelled, "Go!" I jumped out with pure disbelief as I stared at her. She was sometimes bossy, but never actually acted in this manner. "What's the—" I started, then she ran towards me like a hungry animal, so I ran out as soon as I could. I peered through the window and then saw her all calm, with the plant in her hands. "It's okay." The 67th Street Hotel, Lower Manhattan, New York City, December 24th, 2014, 8:34 hours. "Room service," someone yelled as they entered into my hotel room. "Can you please wait while I change?" I asked quickly to avoid being seen. "Okay, but you might want to hurry, because the police are crowding the street and I don't think that traffic is going to be any good," the woman replied. The answer raised an eyebrow on my head. "What crime?" I asked. I was getting dressed. "I don't know, sir, but it's at the local apartment down by a little flower shop." I remember the apartment down by the shop where my sister was. I ran out of the door in a flash, half-dressed, and kept telling myself that everything was going to be better. I hurried down the street, saw the flickering red lights. Then only would have enjoyed on Christmas Eve. The police had set up a barrier, but that did not stop me from breaking through it. I jumped the stairs without any consent of that I had the police right on my tail. I reached the same floor where the apartment was, saw red splotches of blood on the tile on the floor. Just when I was about to discover what happened, I was tackled by a sworn policeman. In the action, the door had opened and revealed the crime. Everything that was once my sister was nothing now. I didn't want to see anymore, but I had to. The policeman hoisted me up and yelled to my ear, "Who are you?" "I'm your brother," I replied, with tears running down the side of my face. They carried me outside, and they sat me next to an ambulance. I sat there for about an hour, thinking of all the bad things I had ever done to her. The head policeman came up to me and said, "I'm deeply sorry about your loss." "What happened to her?" I asked him, my voice still croaked. "It seems as if she was viciously mauled by an animal," she responded. I tried to cope with the fact that I had just lost the last thing I could call family. Who could have done this terrible action? I tried to retrace her steps to remember if there was anyone following us. I couldn't recall anybody. Then, like a bullet hitting me, I thought there was only one thing that was capable of this horrid action. I ran up the flight of stairs again and looked through the front window towards the back window, and sure enough, the plant was not to be seen. Downtown New York City, New York, December 24th, 2014, 18:45 hours. I rode the car as fast as a race car. I was really going at 20 miles per hour towards the shop on 67th Street. The shop again seemed to change, but that didn't change the fact that it had the usual flesh-and aroma. I knew that in order to solve the crime, I'd have to go to the source. The police were convinced that Emil had done this, but I knew the true story. I was welcomed as I entered the store, but my entrance wasn't as pleasant as the man behind the counter. I yelled at him, "Where did you get that plant?" I pushed him towards the wall. "What plant?" he asked weakly. "The one that we purchased yesterday." Truth is, speak up. Truth is, I don't know where that plant came from. It was just there. "Stop lying." I swear," he said, with his hands raised to show surrender. I turned towards the door, locked it, turned the open sign and closed the curtains. I had the emergency fire axe and turned towards the frightened man. "Now, I'm gonna ask you only one time, so listen. Where did you get that plant?" I yelled as I raised the axe above my head. "I don't know," mumbled the sloppy man. I was almost ready to bring the axe down when he finally said, "Okay, I'll tell you, just please, don't hurt me," he pleaded. I let him get up and he led me to the back door that led to my father's old office. "When I bought this shop from your father, he made me promise that I wouldn't tell you this until you were ready. I think that the time's now." He opened the side door of the desk and took out a folder that was marked Christmas Day, 2014. Tomorrow. I took its contents and realized that the folder had multiple pictures, including one of the mysterious plant. I gasped in awe because I didn't understand what was happening. Your father was a great man that I trusted, so I knew that whatever he did it for a reason. He then took out an old tape from the desk and handed it to me. "I think you better take a look at this," he said as he handed it towards me. He looked back at the old closet and pulled out an old tape player. "I think I better leave you to it," he told me as he started to go out the door. "Hey, sir," I yelled towards him. "I'm sorry for killing you. I guess I was just so angry. I wanted some answers." "It's okay. Please, call me Frank," he told me with a smile. I smiled back, but instead of happiness, it brought a feeling of guilt. I installed the tape in the tape player, thought what was so important that he had to hide. The tape started, and I understood why he had done this. The first thing I saw was my own father sitting by the very desk in front of me, talking directly to me. Tape started. If you are watching this, you have probably encountered the Y-34, or as I always like to call her, the Rossi. I've tried to conserve this a secret for everyone because if this got released, well, let's just say it wouldn't go well. "Who's us?" I asked myself. I kept watching the tape. I don't understand the origin of the Y-34, but it is known that it is considered to be extremely dangerous. It continued. "It releases a gas that possesses the victim of the Y-34 trance, so basically, they turn into a zombie. It took a minute to cope with because it was what happened to my sister, and it sent a shiver down my body. If you ever come in contact with the Y-34's gas, there's no way to get out of it. But that isn't the worst part. Every time it traps a different victim, it genetically mutates and is stronger, faster, and more advanced than it was once before. So remember, never let it alone. I hope my successor will do better than I did. So I wish good luck to you, my son, Larry." Tape ended there. was surprised with the last sentence. What name was successor? Why did he ignore me until now? Just then, there was a loud thud in the shop, and I heard flower vases smash. I went to take a look and saw Mr. Frank on the floor, and next to him stood the Rossi. But it wasn't the same. It was as large as a toddler, and had gnarly teeth with a horrid tongue sticking out. Just then, Mr. Frank got up, but he too didn't look the same. He had the same eyes that my sister had when I last saw her alive. Mr. Frank jumped towards me, pushed me onto the floor. He looked like a hungry dog about to eat. He lunged his teeth towards me. In a moment's notice, I barely held death from me. I looked to see if there was anything that I could use to get Mr. Frank off me. I then caught a glimpse of a shattered face, so I grabbed it, and with all my strength, hit the side of what was once Mr. Frank's head. It collapsed immediately into the floor without a single light in its eyes. I then got up, and the Rossi was gone. The next events were not clear to me, due to the witness bit. The sky flashed with a bright fireball, and the street was on fire. People were running around like crazy, or being chased by people that had met face to face with the Rossi. The entire city seemed to be infected with these middle of the chaos. The Rossi seemed to grow 50 feet per minute. It was as tall as the small apartment where this all had started. I heard some whispers in the sewers, and I turned to look at it. There were people under the gutter that were trying to get people to safety. They signaled me that they wanted me to come. I ran there without thinking, jumped in the sewers, and never saw the daylight again. Under New York City, New York, December 25th, 2014, 8:56 hours. This is not the way I wanted this year's Christmas to go. Right now, I would be waking up, looking at all the snow, and celebrating by the fireplace. I would have revealed my present, golden locket, to my sister. She would have cried in joy. Now, it's all gone, and life can never be the same. The people I joined have helped me, and we are right now the only ones left in ground zero New York City. It's too dangerous to go back up, so it's only us now. I'm grateful that I'm with friendly people that will listen to me. So for now, Frank, my father, and my sister Rosie,